ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ 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 ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ।
Hello everyone, Sat Sri Akal. I'm Noor Gill, and today we gather here to honor the life and legacy of our beloved Nanaji, Sudesh Singh Atwal. He touched all of our lives in countless ways. Despite the grief we've all been stricken with since his passing and the sadness we're experiencing for his loss, I want to share some of the fond memories we had with my Nanaji. He will be remembered by his generosity, calm demeanor, simplicity, and positive outlook on life, and he was an inspiration to us all, especially his grandkids, Arjun, Karan, Amrita, Sean, and me. One of the most valuable things our Nanaji brought to our childhood was the sense of togetherness and unity. He helped unite all of us cousins by bringing us pizza, which we all ate together at his home. We spent time together so frequently through our childhood, and it made us all feel connected, and we'll never forget those little moments with him. Our Nanaji was a pillar of care and knowledge with a progressive mindset. He would bring me educational pamphlets that he got from the Gurdwara or events he hosted to educate and connect me to Punjabi history. In fact, I only learned about the 1984 Sikh genocide through a book he handed me when I was 9 years old, sitting on the sofa next to him. We learned so much more about our gurus and religion only because he enrolled us in Gurdwara school from a very young age. He was also actively involved in hosting significant events within the Punjabi community, like an annual Lodi celebration for girls. In these ways, he took pride in sharing aspects of our culture, history, and Sikhi with us, and he was always ahead of his time. Our Nanaji was filled with bright ideas. He was very creative and an analytical thinker with a revolutionary spirit, especially when it came to political ideas. He was strongly rooted in our culture and loved sharing his thoughts and ideas about what is going on in Punjab and the US as he watched the news. He worked so hard, tirelessly through his entire life, and even kept working up until last year. Before his work shifts, he would sacrifice his sleep to pick us up from school and drive us back home. And we had very vivid memories of those drives. Even his car was always filled with thank you letters from all the organizations he donated to, from St. Jude's Cancer Research to the World Wildlife Fund. Even though we were so young, we admired his charitable nature, how he donated so selflessly, and the impact he had on the world. It made us proud to be his grandkids. Not only did he truly define the principle of Girt Karna for us, he also embodied the principle of Vanke Chakna. Nanaji was a compassionate and caring soul. He extended a helping hand to anyone in need and never hesitated to offer guidance and support. He treated our Dadaji as his older brother. He came to visit him almost daily, and I remember seeing them both when I came back from school, talking for hours. Every single time we saw him, he greeted us with a loving pat on the face, which is something we will always miss and never forget the feeling of. Nanaji was always so excited and eager to tell me stories about my childhood whenever I saw him. He would reminisce about little moments about my cousins and I and laugh, and this will forever echo in our hearts. Though he may no longer be physically present, our Nanaji's spirit will forever remain with us, guiding and comforting us And we're so thankful to have had an energy like him. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Sat Sri Akal. My name is Amrita Gill, and today we've come together to reflect on the beautiful life of my Nana Ji. His presence in our lives was a constant source of love and guidance. Growing up, Nana Ji played a special role in my life. As a child, I remember visiting his home almost every weekend. He would intentionally buy chips and Sunny D, even though he never ate them because he knew my siblings and cousins would visit him. I will never forget the playdates that he would host at his house. Nanaji's love extended to his role in my education. Throughout my academic career, he picked me up from school, demonstrating his caring nature. He would stand outside the school gates, always looking excited to see me. And he knew how I hated the school meals, so he'd always go an extra mile, bringing me my favorite food from like Panda Express or In-N-Out every day. The small act of love and consideration meant the world for me. Family and friends were the center of Nanaji's heart. He cherished the moments he spent with others. He would never come to my house empty-handed. Every time he saw me, he lovingly called me Amriti and gently patted my cheek. I like to think of that as a signature move. And whenever he would come to my house, he would either bring Punjabi newspapers for my Dadaji or vegetables from his backyard garden for our family to eat. Every time he visited, even if he already drank tea before he came, he would always accept my tea just because I was the one who made it. His thoughtfulness reminded us of his love and attention to detail. Nanaji was my Dadaji's best friend, and I will fondly remember hearing it on their daily hour-long conversations. It was also clear how deeply he cared for his grandkids. Even during some of his final months, he would spot our resemblances in others. One time while he was in the hospital, he showed the nurse pictures of me, telling her how much he thought we looked alike. His family always had a special place in his heart, and nothing can change that. Today, as we bid farewell to Nanaji, we celebrate a life filled with love, compassion, and unwavering support. His selfless and warm smile touched the lives of all who knew him. Though he may no longer be physically present, his spirit will forever reside within our hearts. Nanaji, may your soul find eternal peace, knowing that you made a lasting impact on each and every one of us. We are grateful for the love you showered upon us and the memories you created. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Hello, my name is Karan Atwal. I'm the grandson of Sudesh Singh Atwal. He was my grandfather, and ever since I was a child, he used to pick us up from school and drop me off too. It was this particular time I remember when I was at a play rehearsal and I was running a little late from the usual time, and I would call him and tell him that he could go home, and I'll call him and wait for him to come back. After it was over, I went out there, and it had been 2 or more hours. He was there waiting for me. He never left. He was always there. When he arrived at the time that I was supposed to be out, and he always waited there for me until I arrived. My grandfather taught me so much growing up, but most importantly, he taught me that showing kindness and having a good heart is more important than anything else in the world. Thank you.